Everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now, this one, I'm going to say this, it's like top 5 of the franchise. Some people love this movie more. This is some people's favorite. And I will admit, Robert Englund does amazing. He's amazing in every movie as Freddy. But just the darker personality and, like the less, he's a lot more scarier in this film. His design's a little bit different too, than the finger knives are inside his skin instead of being on a glove. But it kind of gets overlooked though, because it was put in the middle of the first movie, which is a classic. I think almost everybody loves, and then the third movie, Dream Warriors, which is arguably the best movie in the franchise, or at least the best sequel to the first. And some people forget about it. Some people think it's not even canon to the story. Canonical wise, since there's no references to it in the third movie, you really could just say it doesn't exist in the same universe as 1 through 6. But we'll say it does. I'm a big fan of Jesse's actor. I know this movie has become a pretty big hit for the LGBTQ community because there's a lot of homoerotic stuff in the movie. For 1985, there's a lot of it. And obviously this movie was not directed by Wes Craven. I don't know if he just didn't, I think he might have been filming something else at the time, whenever they won this, and also I don't think he was too happy about that. The final scene in the first movie, where Nancy's mom is pulled through the glass, window. So, and there are some great scenes in this movie. I know Wes wouldn't come out to direct the third or fourth one, but I think he gave a script for the third movie, and they just revised it. Now I will talk about something in the next episode, which kind of triggers me about what they edited. I don't even know if they did edit this, but what they added was kind of which we'll talk about that when we talk about Dream Warriors. But back to Freddy's Revenge. So let's just do a little bit of a summary of the movie. So Jesse and his family moved into Nancy's old house. And this girl who likes Jesse, they read the diary of Nancy, where she talks about Fred Krueger and all the stuff that he did in the last one. And the people say that the person that lived there before went crazy. So I guess you could argue it's canon, but even then, I don't know. There's stuff with the timeline too, but. So, the best scene in the movie, well, gradually, let's explain how Freddy and Jesse meet. Jesse sees Freddy in the boiler room, right? And then he sees him inside his house, and that's when he says, "You got the body, I got the brain," and Freddy pulls back the skin to show his brain inside of his head. And then he slowly tries to, take over Jesse's body, and it all, accumulates at the pool party, which is probably the most iconic scene. Jesse goes into his friend Grady's room, who he has a crush on, and that's when Freddy, it's an amazing scene when Freddy comes out of his body, sheds the skin, the pain that Jesse's going through. So then Freddy kills Grady, chases Lisa, or the woman that had a crush on Jesse, and then goes out to the pool. This is, I think, the only time we see him mass murder in the real world and stuff, because they're we don't want to hurt you. They think he's a harmless, an animal or something. But then Freddy's "You were all my children." Now that's the most iconic line from the pool party. And then after the massacre at the pool party, Lisa chases him down to the old boiler room where he worked, and she just beats him with the power of love, basically. It says that she still loves Jesse and she knows he's in there, and Freddy's skin melts away and then Jesse's back. And that's basically the summary of the plot of this movie. Now you can see why that's a lot different than the first movie, because there's not any real dream deaths. Oh, there is. There's the coach. And I think his was a dream death, although it's kind of explaining Jesse killed him. So I don't know if there's actually any dream sequence deaths in the movie. So it's a big, tone change from the first film. Like I said, a lot darker. and that's probably why it gets looked over, because Dream Warriors was like the perfect sequel to the first film, and Dream Warriors was like hit the sweet spot for Freddy, which we'll talk more about that when we cover Dream Warriors, which I'm excited about. And when I said earlier that I'm going to have a little bit of a rant about one thing that they added at the end of the movie, that's not me saying I dislike the movie or I think the movie's bad, because it is like my favorite film in the series. Like, but I think the ending is kind of screwed up, and I'll explain that like next episode. But this film also ends with one of those last minute Freddy's alive again endings, where Jesse and Lisa's friend are on the bus, and all of a sudden Freddy's like razor gloves pops out of Lisa's friend's chest, and then the bus starts going off control again, because at the start of the movie it went off on this like off-road like voyage after these two like spire looking things, and it was like balancing on a bunch of like a really weird dream sequence. But it ends with that, which is like, Freddy's alive. It's like in the first like 4 films, even I think 5 films, there's always this ending to make it ambiguous that like, maybe he's dead, maybe he's not. So we will cover the best one, or really the first is still the best, but this is the best sequel next episode, which I'm excited about because it's the return of Nancy, which I'm going to be excited about. And then with new characters, which I really like that got introduced, and Freddy starts to do the one-liners. So the Freddy Krueger that you think of Freddy Krueger is starting to come around the third film. But until then, stay blessed, everybody. I love you guys. Take care.